agree. Okay, well, looks like we're going to go ahead and get started up and ready to go. 9
it's
seconds
tough
to
knowing
counting.
what you got to invest
hard.
in chrono boosts as well. So like it's great to get all three, of course. But well, are you gonna mix your chronos?
Yeah, it was hard even for us. We had the bird's eye view, and we're looking at this push, and we're trying to win. It's gonna hit, and it constantly kept changing from Alive. But it was such a well thought out. It kept falling up. It's like, you know what? I'll go ahead and take a little bit more. I'll take a little bit more. He just got so darn strong. We'll see how Parting plays this map. Of course, it's a little bit harder to do 1v1. Actually, way harder actually because of rush distances. So we'll see what the plan is here for Alive. Parting down here in the bottom left corner, gonna be our red Protoss player. Look how beautiful he is. If you could pretend that he was in that Nexus, you would know that he's looking at his mirror because he is a beautiful guy. And
He probably got a Nexus full of mirrors, actually.
That probably does.
Yeah.
Very
Parting is pretty good looking. Yeah.
Top left corner, it's gonna be Alive, our Terran player. Let's see how exactly he is going to play this game here. Game 1, tried to go for a little bit of a heavy macro play, and of course Parting hit him with the one base play.
Yeah.
Followed up with a one base play against Parting. And hit at around the 13-minute mark. He just did so much damage, man. That push was so strong. I'm going to have nightmares about that, man.
You know, I mentioned that I like the Colossus to defend against the 1-on-1, and Parting just refused to go for it for so long. Threw down that robotics bay just so late, and ultimately couldn't get out extended thermal lances or a second Colossus.
Well, he came in with the Observer, and he saw just the Tech Lab. Oh dear, look at Alive over here throwing down a Rax. He just saw the Tech Lab researching something. Didn't see anything on the factory Tech Lab, so he thought the push was coming soon. He didn't think he had time to put out Colossi, but then after the Observer was killed, Alive followed up with Siege Mode. And if he would have known that, he would have had time to get out of Colossi. It was just a scouting and Observer being killed off that really set Alive up to do that push. But with the Rex being here in the middle of the map, Parting is scouting his opponent. Got a nice lucky scout off in the early game in the top left corner. Sees nothing. So he's going to be a little confused.
Yeah.
Probably going to play a little bit more defensively than he would normally. But that's a good play for him, and a very lucky scout. Very fortunate that he got to find his opponent really early.
Yeah, it definitely works out in his favor. Now he's going to run down here to the natural expansion most likely and check for a command center. But he's not going to see one, and that's going to confuse him a little bit. Perhaps he will start checking the middle of the map. This is not too uncommon. I know I've casted myself 3 or 4 games in which this has occurred, and Parting does appear. Yeah, he's going to run right out to the middle. Will he manage to scout the barracks? Yeah, that's going to be in the vision range. So Parting there scouting the barracks in the middle of the map. And this would punish any sort of one-base shenanigans, or excuse me, of quick expansion shenanigans out of Parting if he had tried to drop a Nexus immediately. You can build bunkers, you can just obliterate your opponent with a couple of Marines and do a lot of damage. But Parting is actually playing this very, very safe, so Alive will end up likely picking up this barracks and going home.
I'm going to go ahead and keep a couple Marines, and yeah, he's even putting them straight to the natural. He knows that Parting's going to be ready for this. He scouted it. He's going to be very, very content with just going home. He's going to use his own Nexus up pretty soon, or own command center. Oh,
and that works out.
Rex.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, he does. That works out great for Parting, because Alive's orbital was later because of building that barracks out there. You know, you mine less minerals. You have to leave very early with the SCV in order to get this Marine all the way out here to build this barracks, and consequently your entire build does slow down. So Alive's going to be following this up with 2 additional racks, so going up to 3 barracks before expanding. And you know what? Look at what Parting's going to do here. He's going to just go with 1 gateway and a cybernetics core. This is so sneaky and just genius out of Parting, because Alive has to play careful right now. For all he knows, Parting could, you know, take the small advantage he has right now, Robin.
Yeah.
And he could 4-gate. You know, he completely could. And so Alive playing it very safe, going for these 3 racks first, and Parting's just going to expand.
Nice, nice. Well thought out here by Alive. So yeah, 3 racks, and there's a command center now following up for Alive in that top right corner of his main. So eventually he will set himself up, and I think Parting actually had a probe go in and see that bunker at the natural. So he is aware that Alive is intending to most likely expand pretty soon as well. But you got to be careful with that. Actually, I watched Grubby versus the Muslim, and actually the Muslim faked an expansion the whole time and just followed up with a very strong 1-base build. So I would like Parting to maybe go in for a little bit of scouting information pretty soon.
Yeah.
At least put a stalker in there and at least see if there's a command center down at the natural. But we do have a second gas now following up here down in the main. There is a 3rd gateway that looks like being thrown down as well. So everything going into place here for Parting. He needs to be very comfortable with the small lead he got from that Rax being in the middle of the map from early on.
Yeah. And, you know, he's going for a few sentries first. Wants to make sure to get out some units to be safe against any example Marine pressure. We saw him chrono boosting out a sentry. Not opting to go for the robo quite yet, which I love, man, because Parting is playing this just so safe and so intelligently thus far. Alive is moving out across the map with a couple of Marines. He's also reinforcing with additional Marines. He does have these 3 barracks at home. Started mining gas, however, off of 2 of these refineries as well. So he is going to be able to tech up behind this. It's going to be a question of, does he throw down tech labs here, Robin, and go for stim? I'd love to see... Oh, he's throwing down 2 at one time. What I'd love to see is stim at 1, an engineering bay, and +1 researched, and then combat shields following it up. I'm not the biggest fan of seeing stim and combat shields at the same time because they don't finish at the same time.
Yeah, you're
actually, is this... Oh, no, I thought maybe this was 3 tech labs.
Yep, throwing down just 2 of them at the moment. So it looks like he will be going for that stim pack. Now, will he be going for that combat shields as well? We'll see momentarily. But, yeah, I agree with you, engineering base. I feel like they need to be a little bit earlier for Terrans, just because if you get that upgrade advantage over Protoss, your Marine Marauders just get that much more stronger, and it's so nice to have on your side. You have a couple units now warping in here for partying. Let's take a look at their units really quick and get an idea of how they are in terms of harvesters. It's going to be 32 to 30, so overall pretty even. It looks like partying is now moving out across the middle of the map here. Has 5 sentries, 3 stalkers, 1 cell. Going to go ahead and engage here. Stalker taking a lot of damage there from Marines. Force fields do go down though, and actually those Marines are all caught. They're actually were on right click there, so they didn't get any damage put out. They tried to turn out the last second, but
Robin,
all of them are cleaned up.
Parting just killed every single one of Alive's Marines, barring the 2 or so that escaped. That was beautiful. We see 2 barracks having to drop down now for Alive. He's already pulling SCVs off the line because he knows he is in a world of trouble if he does not take this threat seriously. Parting right now, moving up the ramp, forces cancel on one of these, and this would allow him, if he decides to commit heavily, to slip in here through the bottom, but I don't know that that's the best maneuver for Parting. He's in a great position right now. As we were pointing out, he has 4 workers, but he is going to do some additional damage here, maybe kill off a few SCVs, get down this bunker as well. Force fields preventing the repair, and he kills this second bunker as well. And now, Ramen, he can move into this lower area and commitment free.
Yeah, he controls that whole entire area. He can effectively zone out Alive if he would like. SCVs have been brought off, force fielding them in. You are stuck here. You will die, he says. 1 Marauder does fall off. A couple more SCVs as well being killed at the same time. A couple Marines stuck in the force field as well. Alive's unit control seems to be completely falling off here from those great force fields for Parting. 68 to 43 in Harvester's bunker now in trouble. No SCVs to repair. Will they get there in time? No, they do not. Parting is taking Alive here and not even caring about it, man.
Oh yeah, Fnatic Alive right now, pulling off all his SCVs coming from his main. He is looking in a world of trouble, doing what he can to kite back even just a simple Zealot at a time. Parting has so many units, and Stim and Combat Shields are just right now completing for our blue Terran player, but Robin, I feel like he's sustained simply too much damage at this point.
Yeah, Party needs to be careful, though, not to overextend and allow Stalkers to be picked off here. Make sure he keeps warping his zones. Let them buffer the damage. He's got the lead here. SCV's now dying up once more. Force fields do go down. The other 2 Zealots that are running in are pretty low on HP. They will be killed off. Alive!
GG!
Are you trying to fist foul me or something?
Sure.
Party gets it 2-1, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Parting.